This is For the Creators.
Welcome back to another episode of For the Creators, where it's our job to demystify creativity. In these long-form conversations, we tease out tips and tricks from all kinds of creatives, whether they're musicians, presenters, actors, directors, DJs, writers, entrepreneurs, and everything in between. In this episode, I sit down with MC Bushkin, 1/3 of the UK garage group, the Heartless Crew. As pioneers of UK garage, Heartless Crew played a fundamental role in the rise of the genre, and they continue to be respected globally for their contributions to the UK music scene. I have been a fan of the Heartless Crew since I was in secondary school and listening to them on Mission FM, but I'd never really heard their story. So I was really interested in finding out more about how it all started, how they were able to have a major influence on the genre of music at such a young age. I took Bushkin on a trip down memory lane and got an insight into his childhood, his musical influences, the formation of the Heartless Crew, the rise of the crew, and why they eventually decided to go their separate ways in 2011. This was definitely a nostalgic interview for me, but I'm extremely proud that I got the chance to do it. I learned so much about Bushkin, the other members of the crew, and the music scene in the 90s and 2000s during our conversation, and I genuinely hope that you do too. So without further ado, please enjoy my sit down with MC Bushkin from the Heartless Crew. All right, thank you so much for taking the time out to be on the show today. It's a pleasure.
No worries. The pleasure's all mine, man.
I know my friend, I had this one friend, Lavinia, she was literally a Heartless Crew fan to the next level when we were in secondary school. Literally, so I'm doing this for both of us.
Okay.
So my first question is probably one, I don't know if maybe you get asked it all the time, but everyone refers to you as Bushkin, but what is actually your government name?
My actual name's Justin.
Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did Bushkin come from?
It's a nickname, funny enough. Me and my cousin devised it many years ago, doing all sorts of funny things. So yeah, that's...
Just made it up?
Yes, I made it up.
Cool. Yeah, so your family's background is Jamaican. Is that on both sides?
Jamaican and Antiguan.
Oh, dope. I'm from Montserrat, which is like right next door to Antigua.
Yeah. Well, we got Montserratian family as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The whole mix, yeah. That's right. My granddad was Montserratian and his wife... my granddad's Antiguan and his wife was Montserratian.
Oh, wow. Small world.
Yeah, so...
See it there, we're related.
Yeah, got the fire. The Montserratians got the fire there. Yeah.
So what was it like for you growing up in North London and that back in the day? Like, what do you remember the most from your childhood?
Yeah, it was fun, man. I moved around a lot. We started in like Hornsey.
Really?
I went primary school around Hornsey, and I moved to Wood Green for a stint. I stayed with my gran. I went to another little primary school up there, Nightingale.
Okay.
And then I moved to Archway, so that's where I spent kind of more. I think from probably like 11 up until maybe 15.
Okay.
That's kind of where I got to kind of make a name and and I moved from there to Caledonian Road.
Okay, like near the prison.
Yeah, not far from there. But yeah, man, my childhood was generally fun. I'm a kind of happy-go-lucky person anyway. Mm-hmm. So I was into a lot of sports. Very sociable. Like everyone kind of knew me around the area and stuff like that.
You kind of answered my next question.
Okay, yeah.
Were you popular back then? But here you go.
Yeah, I've always been popular. So, funny enough, it's like when I was around Archway, a lot of people call me Ricky. I actually changed my name. I reverted it back now to my original name, but I changed my name because Justin was the uncommon name. It's a bit more popular now, but back then no one was called Justin. So everyone knew
that it was you.
It was me, basically. So people come from different areas. Oh, where's Justin live? Where? So I changed my name after that to Ricky. And so then most people now know me as Ricky.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is that just change it like just on road, or is that like you literally changed it?
Yeah,
like change it by deed poll?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you went in.
Yeah, I actually changed it. So and then but I was on skates. I used to play a lot of roller hockey, and I spent a lot of my childhood on skates. Basically, everyone knew I was always on my skates.
Did you go to that King's Cross where they used to do like roller city?
Yeah, I went there a few times. Yeah, Bagley's. Yeah, used to go there a couple of times still. But yeah, mainly just skating up and down on the roads, playing street hockey. It used to be called then, basically.
Okay.
Street hockey, and that was
nice. Do you still skate now?
Funny enough, I just passed my skates about 3 days ago and said, I'm going to go on them. Like, every now and again, I'll go on them, but I'm not a regular skater. I was playing hockey up until a few years ago, but I gave it up because I was trying to do too much stuff, and like our team was just getting battered. We was literally we was at the whipping team, and I hate losing. So after a while, I said to myself, you know what, I need to either dedicate more time into this or just do the music thing, and the music needed attention as well. So I just kind of said, you know what.
Oh, so you were taking it like kind of serious?
Yeah. I've always, when I was young, I wanted to be a hockey player, but
that's unusual hockey, for like the UK.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly it. But in the UK, roll hockey was never a thing. It was like an underground thing. Ice hockey is big in America and stuff, and you can make a living playing ice hockey if you go America, Canada, these kind of places. But roll hockey never took off.
Is that roll hockey or road hockey?
Roller. So,
roller. Oh, yeah, so where would you play that?
Skates. Like, you play in indoor, like
just stadiums. Oh,
like that. So like, we used to train in that Plaster or Newham Leisure Centre, and then our matches were in Southend. So there's like a big leisure centre up there, and you play in the indoors, like in the kind of same place where they have a basketball matches, play in there basically. So I was really good, and that was like the love of my life when I was young. I was actually the captain of Islington at one stage.
Oh, nice.
Roll hockey and stuff. So I had dreams of doing that, but there's just no money in hockey business.
Interesting. Wonder how many people knew that. That's probably a gem for the creators. Yes. Like, how many siblings do you have?
I got one elder brother and one younger sister.
Oh, cool. Any of them into music?
My brother got me into music, basically. He used to have a sound system when he was like younger, and he had all the decks and all that stuff and all the records and stuff like that. So he got me into music, but he's not really into it. He's a listener. He's always listened to music. If you go and catch him now, he's probably listening to some music. More time, that's what he just does, listen to music. And my sister, she's like, she's into music. She's not a musician or anything like that, but she's got a similar character to me. Actually, she's like lively and loud and fun. Like, our birthday's like 2 days apart, so she's cool. Not a musician, but she will tell everyone she writes all my lyrics and stuff like that. And so she's into it.
Oh, bless. Yeah. So, what music did you listen to growing up, and did that influence like your music choices later on?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up listening to mainly ragga. Was a thing basically back in the early 90s. It was like all about ragga.
Who's your fave?
Cutty Ranks. I used to like Tiger. I used to like Buju Banton when he come out. He was hard. Terra Fabulous. Jigsy King.
Some of those
Ninja
names
Man.
I don't know. Ninja Man, yes.
Yeah. Papa San.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all the kind of mans who shape. Yellow Man as well.
So he was hard into the bashment.
Hard, yeah. Them times I used to love it. I knew all the tunes and stuff. I was DJing. I used to DJ as well, basically. So I was into that. And also, like, prior to that, my brother, he was into like all the hip hop and all the rap. So we was into that. That was like the Yo MTV rap days.
Yeah.
So we used to watch all of that. And MC Light. We used to like MC Light. Milk. BDP, Boogie Down Productions. That was our favourite. KRS-One. Queen Latifah.
So how do you think that influenced your music? Because it's kind of like you didn't mention garage there or jungle.
No, they weren't even about.
They weren't about yet.
No, they weren't even about at all yet. They was not even made out. They weren't even made yet. To be honest with you, this is like
when you're really young.
This is So the Yo MTV rap stuff was probably prior to 11. With hip hop stuff.
Okay.
So that was like up until probably around 11, and then from 10, 11, that was the ragga stuff. So that was Tiger, Buju Bantons, all that kind of stuff. So I think Buju Banton came out a bit later, in fact. So it was like.
What about Shabba?
Shabba, yeah, but weren't such a fan of Shabba.
Why not?
I don't know. Funny enough. Yeah, I don't really know. Weren't such a fan.
Just didn't gravitate to him.
Yeah. Ninja. It's more fan of Ninja. Supercat. Fan of Supercat. So yeah, so that was like the secondary school days. So that's like, and then so that was like all sound tapes. So I was into a lot of sound tapes. Black Cat, Stone Love, all these sounds basically. So that whole movement shaped the whole Heartless Crew thing. It was secondary school, so the first year of secondary school, so I was 11. That's when I met Fonty as well, and Fonty was like into music, so we both now into like hip hop. I mean, not into he was actually more into hip hop. Fonty could dance. He was like a dance.
Oh,
he was into Bell Biv DeVoe and that kind of New Jack swing, and I was into more the ragga stuff. But then we started.
So when you blended it together, you got
that's
the
right.
Heartless sound.
And then we started, so literally, Fonty was like the main music guy in our school. He could play steel pan. He could read music. He could play guitar, trumpet. Like he was like proper the musician. I was just more of a hype man. I was into music, and then we linked up. And
because that at Holloway Boys School.
That's Holloway, yeah.
So did you meet Mighty Mo then as well, or did Mighty Mo come later on?
No, he came later down. So he came in the college days.
Oh, cool. So you got so you and Fonty did you call yourself Heartless Crew then?
Yeah, well, we had, fun enough, we had two names beforehand. So we was called Wicked Intention.
Okay.
And we had another. Destruction. It was called Wicked Intention and then Destruction.
So you just want to destruct or be wicked?
Yeah, but them times the name had to be, you understand?
Something cold.
One of them kind of names there. So we had those two names, and then I come up with Heartless Crew. But back then, this is like 92 maybe. So Heartless Crew back then just sounded like, wow, where did man get that from? That sounded sick. And then that just stuck basically. And then rolled out with that.
Dope. So I was gonna say, like, you had a unique sound, because for me you were almost like, like how Drake is mixing like rapping and singing. You's flow were kind of like suitable for the girls to vibe to. Yeah, it wasn't too hardcore. Was that intentional, or?
Yeah, I mean,
or it was just your style?
I can't say it was intentional. No, it was just our style. It's man's character. To be honest with you, a lot of these, what I find with a lot of artists is like they're doing that. I mean, everything's acting to an extent, but when you really hit home with things is when it kind of fits like a glove.
When it's authentic.
Yeah, when it's authentic. Yeah, that's exactly right. So our thing was authentic to us. Like, we was into girls. We were fun. We was from like North London. It's not the wickedest area, basically. It's not like, our area was a bit more cosmopolitan, where Isla and Holloway Boys School. So there's a same roughness and stuff like that, but it wasn't toward like what was going on in Hackney, and then it wasn't like what was happening in South London. You understand? So our team was always a bit more nice. You understand? We was like the sweet boys kind of thing into the girls. You understand? I mean, both me and Fonty was brought up good parts by our grands, so we had manners and respect and stuff like that. Anyway, so all of that just is who we are and how we are, and that came out through our music. So even with our music, it was girls fun. We could do a bit of the clashing thing and the rude boy thing, but really and truly it was a lady sound. Yeah,
definitely was. I think because most of the girls gravitated to you, like when you compare it to all the other crews who were at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to know if it was like intentional, because it really reminds me of the whole vibe that Drake has now, because women buy music, man. Like, we're the ones who really will go out and spend a penny.
Yeah, no, that's right. I can't say our style was intentional, but we always knew, like, get the girls in the raves and the man then will come, and that was our policy. Like, you understand? So make sure all the girls win. Once the girls win, the man then will come, man. Because we was conscious of it still.
That was really good, because you must have been really young at the time as well. So
yeah, literally, like, that's why everyone always thinks we're a lot older than we are now, because we started so young back then, basically. But yeah, so this was like literally was 12, 13, and was like making flyers and cutting them up on the guillotine in school and things like that, sticking them on the back of the buses, going out to the girls' school, local girls' school, trying to chat to girls.
So you were like entrepreneurial, but you were having fun doing it. So now looking back, that was quite innovative for like the average 12, 13-year-old.
No, 110%. Man's always been an innovator and always been an entrepreneur, basically. I've always enjoyed that stuff. And again, when you're enjoying stuff, it doesn't really seem like work. But that was always, again, that's this man's character. It's always been very industrial, make it happen, kind of like, I mean, my mum installed a lot of these foundations in me, basically. She was like, my mum's not really no nonsense kind of person, but actually really fun. But she's no nonsense. But she had a very kind of in a way weird style with me, where she kind of let me do pretty much what I wanted within reason. But she always said, "There's always a price to pay for everything you do," basically. So it's like, and that I learned them lessons very early on, basically. So yeah,
that's really good. She trusted you, so I guess that you must have. I guess growing up around your nan as well, that made you like sensible. So you may have been more. Okay, let me not put words in your mouth. Like, his face is like, I don't know about that.
No, I mean, there probably is some truth in that, because they was very strict when I used to go to my grand's house like a present, because I never used to like going there at first. But years later, then I realised the benefits, and I actually went back there of choice, and it was like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so you started off playing in like house raves and that. How did you make that transition from like playing at the local party to your residency at Chimes in like 96?
Yeah, it was stepping stones. So yeah, first thing we was doing house parties, and our technique would be go down to the Camden girls and ask which girls want a birthday party, and say, yeah, we're gonna put on a birthday party for you. And we like Fonty's uncle had some speakers, and we used to hire a van and stuff like that, and we put on these free parties for these girls. Sometimes we charge like £1 entry. I found a flyer the other day where the entry's £1.
Oh wow!
Yeah, literally now I think 94 or something like that it might be.
That's crazy.
Mad, yeah. Looking back on it, so yeah, so we was doing that, and then after we started to rent out community halls, they were like £50 back in the days. You could do them until 12.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And we started putting on some like raising the community hall, Cheese Centre, and Lorraine Hall was like two ones that we used to use in our area. Both of them was in Holloway. And then did we do Wednesday Club first? I can't remember. You know, like the owner of Chimes, Anthony Bright, he's like a family friend. He's kind of like an uncle,
okay,
basically. And my dad had been telling him about us, and one day he asked to meet us, and we came up there. It was already like we had a little name in North London already. Basically.
Was you even old enough to be in Chimes, but just to be playing there? Because I'm just thinking that you must have been quite young.
Yeah, we wasn't old enough really. It's probably was it about maybe. I think did we start Chimes in 95 or 96 or something like that?
Because like the research I found said you had a residence there in 96.
Yeah, so then that would have been 16.
Wow.
Probably, yeah, 16 them times.
Just borderline.
Yeah, borderline, exactly. Well, yeah, not even like, yeah. We was doing that. I think we started playing there a bit before, but then, yeah, we started in the residency after, maybe it's in 96. I remember we done some college dances in there as well. They were really popular. And then, yeah, but when we went to the meeting, we dressed up. Smart man always had a little swagger anyway, man, dressed up. And Anthony was like, yeah, he proper took to us. Obviously his family as well, but he's like, yeah, you man come early and stuff like that. And yeah, he was on it basically. And then yeah, he gave us Swincy. And
so
yeah.
was that you and Fonty
by this time we met Mo. Yeah,
okay,
Mo.
cool.
Because we left school, when we left secondary school, Holloway, I went to a different college. I went Southgate College, the Rude Boys and whatever. But Fonty went to sit in Islington, in Holloway, and that's where he met Mo. And there was another guy in our sound as well. So it was three of us in the beginning. It was me, Fonty, and a guy called Ogwan.
Okay.
Sootman, we used to call him basically. So it was us three, and then when we left Holloway Boys, those Ogwan and Fonty went to the same college as Mighty Mo. So they met Mo there.
Oh, cool.
And so then Ogwan decided to leave the sound, but he brought Mo in when he was left, basically. So that's how Mo come into the sound.
So was Ogwan the DJ?
Ogwan was a DJ, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Ogwan was a hip-hop DJ. Mo was also a hip-hop DJ. And Fonty was... Me and Fonty was like... I used to do ragga. Fonty used to do ragga and soul as well. So
Did you DJ as well, or just MC?
Yeah, I was DJ,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
All of us was actually DJs first. Fonty was actually an MC, funny enough. It's weird. Fonty was at the MC and me and Mo were DJs, and Fonty was also a DJ. And then after a while, the roles reversed, basically. So then me and Mo became the MC. When the music changed to garage, we changed the formula, basically. So depending on what music we'd play, we'd all switch roles.
Switch up.
But then when it came to garage, and garage started to take off, so the roles kind of stuck. as that. So that's why everyone knows me as an MC and Mo as an MC. But it never started off like that.
Cool. So when did garage really start like taking off? Was this the Chimes days or was that afterwards when you went to Mission FM?
It was Chimes. So it was like 96 we started to play garage, basically, but we only had like a few garage tunes. I think we only had about 3 or 4 garage tunes, but one of the garage tunes he had was like a tune, it was an album. So it had like 12 tunes on it. So we could mix about half hour, 40 minutes of garage maybe, basically with that one tune. And we had a few others. So it was like, 96 we started playing garage and Chimes. And again, them times everyone was frowning on it basically. But what it was funny, his girlfriend, she was into the garage thing. At first, people was like, garage is like a little gay music. It was a kind of gay music back then anyway, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, no one weren't into it. It was like a funky thing, basically. We was into jungle, and like, the people who couldn't hack the jungle scene were kind of flushing out into the garage kind of thing. And that, at the beginning, the garage was all, mainly the white people, and it was all the girls, and like the gay kind of, it's kind of like a gay thing, you know, but then all the gal with the,
so wherever the girls go, the man them will follow.
So then same thing. So then as it went on, we done playing a little bit of garage and Chimes and a few of the parties. It started to catch on a little bit, and then it still wasn't our main focus. But then we got a spot on Mission that was through my brother Swift, and when we went on there, we used to do like, we was a sound system, so we played everything. And we done our show on there, and we was playing everything. But the garage, when we played the garage, it's like, he was like, no, you don't need a set show for garage, and then you do the mix up thing
another day.
Yeah, so then they gave us 2 shows. We had Wednesday with the mix up, and then Sunday was the garage. But the garage show just took off basically because it was new. We was doing it slightly different than everyone else was doing it as well. It was like a brand new thing, and the garage show just took off. And again, that's why a lot of people don't even know we're a sound system, that we could play all the other music and all, like, play. We used to play all night. Basically, that's what we was about.
So, like, how did the MCing come about? Because obviously, playing the other sets, I imagine that you're just like hyping the crowd here and they just might say a few words. But when did the MCing come into it? Because obviously, you were just DJs. Yeah,
I mean, again, so there's a part I missed out as well, because between the Bashment and the garage was the whole jungle scene, basically. So me and Fonty was heavily into jungle. We was like raving, and fun enough, we wanted to blow up. We was trying to be a jungle like outfit, basically.
Okay.
But the jungle scene was just airtight. You could not get into that scene. It was
as in jungle artists or just jungle DJs?
It was like more DJs then, basically.
Okay.
So we were trying to be like what happened for us in garage. We was trying to do that in jungle.
Okay.
Basically. But it weren't happening. Like, no one weren't taking us seriously. Obviously, we were still very young as well, like 15, 16. I don't think we was even 17 yet. So no one weren't really taking us seriously. And the scene itself was just airtight. And we was banging our heads against the wall, trying to get in that and practicing. So Shabba, Stevie Hyper, MC Det, these are the kind of guys we looked up to, 5-0. So we had lyrics emulating those guys, basically trying to be as good as those guys. So yes, we was practicing day and night MCing anyway. But then what happened is, when we couldn't get into the jungle scene, basically, it's all weird. Basically, jungle came. It was like everyone who started doing what we was doing. We was a youth sound basically when we started, like the early 90s, 92, 91, whatever. We was a youth sound, and again at that time there was bare youth sounds, but we came at the back of the youth sounds. So everyone else would have been a year, 2, 3 years older than us. Black Mafia, Black Phoenix, King Status, Victor V, all these different sounds. So when jungle came in, it wiped all of those guys out because they were a bit older than us.
Okay.
They all started to rave to jungle, basically, and they left the ragga thing. The ragga thing was dead, basically.
Okay.
Everyone jumped onto jungle.
Yeah.
But where we was a bit younger than everyone, by default, we were still trying to do the sound system thing because we hadn't busted a sound system yet.
Yeah.
So we was raving in jungle, but still playing
ragga.
All the ragga and incorporating jungle into our sound system. So that was just like another. We used to play ragga, soul, hip hop, and then now we started to play jungle as well. So everyone else who was doing that, they just stopped and this was raving.
They just
jungle.
focused on the one genre, but you were like mixing it up still.
We were still mixing up, and fun enough, everyone stopped already doing it because jungle was so hard to get into. Everyone just stopped and just became ravers, basically. And we was
all of like the DJs
all
and that.
All those DJs that I would mention, they just became ravers in the jungle scene. You understand? So we was like the dying breed, but we just kept it back. We're younger than everyone, basically. So these guys they're in their teens and whatever already, like 18, 19, whatever. So we're just coming in. So we continue playing jungle and doing our sound system. So then what happened when garage came in now, because we was trying so hard to be jungle DJ and MCs, we was just overly prepared for garage. So when garage come, we just found garage so easy. It was like,
and then you was kind of like the first, so it must have been like a blessing in disguise, because when you went to jungle, it would have been so saturated, and like you said, everyone who was already doing jungle was doing it at such a high standard, it would have been difficult to enter.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't think so. We thought we was. I remember being in a jungle rave with Fonty, and Fonty's like, "Wow, my man's clanging. I can do much better." And this is the top DJ even up to now, basically. But like I said, we was practicing day and night. It's what we wanted to do. So yeah, but I mean, by default, it did kind of work out for us, because when we come into garage, we had so much lyrics, it was ridiculous, because obviously jungle's a lot faster than garage as well. So we were slowing our lyrics down, so it even gave us more time to emphasize the lyrics to make it even more better.
Yeah.
We didn't have to rush the music. Everything just fitted like a glove. God is good, really and truly, because it just worked out so perfectly, and we was prepared beyond belief, basically. So
it's kind of like you are now the first in garage, so it was better to almost be the first than to be trying to cling on to something that's already established. So that's why you're the legend that you are now, because jungle didn't work out.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Because if it did, then you probably would have started raving to it like all the other people did.
Yeah, exactly. It would been definitely a different scenario. We wouldn't be having this talk now. So yeah, man, it kind of just worked out in our favor.
Yeah. So how long were you at Mission? Like
probably about 4 years, maybe. I think we started there in 97, 98 until about...
Is it like 2002 when you went to One Extra? Is that like you went straight from Mission?
Before, because we left Mission, we had a falling out with Mission, and we went on to Freak FM.
Okay, yeah.
And then we was on Freak FM for a little while, and then after Freak FM, then One Extra came and headhunted us, and then we went on to there.
So was you playing both sets at Freak FM, or was that now fully just garage?
Yeah, that was fully garage, basically. After maybe a couple months, maybe or so of doing the two shows, we'd end up just leaving all the mix-up stuff, and then everyone just knew us for garage, basically. Yeah. Everyone from that point just knew garage. No one ever really knew any of the history before.
Okay, so did that give way to like going out now and playing at all the clubs across the country? Did you start like traveling outside of London as a garage? Yeah,
basically from the garage, like from Mission FM. Mission FM was a brilliant outlet for us, because our tapes started to go far and wide, basically. And then like people be carrying tapes up to Birmingham and stuff like that, and then so from Mission we started. I think Birmingham was we played a few other places. Hitchin, I remember us playing, going on train and stuff like that. But Birmingham was the first major place we went and played, basically.
How did that feel, knowing that people all the way in Birmingham know who you are and like they're into your sound?
Yeah, it was sick, man. It was amazing back then. Like it was a dream. Literally, we didn't even really know what was going on. We were just having fun with it, basically. We were just having so much fun.
Sometimes you get lost in it, because you're in it and you're doing it. Time just goes by. You're just trying to get from A to B to get it done, right? Yeah,
that's right. You don't even realize what's going on, and the legacy just was being
building
made.
Itself.
It's just like it's just fun.
So when you went over to One Extra, was that just to be like DJs playing a set on the radio, or did they sign you to release music as well?
No, they only signed us like they signed us just as DJ and MC, basically. I mean, the whole One Extra thing at that time, it was like a bamboozle, because what they done, they scooped up all the top road DJs or street DJs, I think they called them. Basically, they took all the top guys and said, "Yeah, we're going to start a new radio station. It's going to be like a pirate radio station, but it's going to be legal, and you'll get paid and stuff like that." And looking back on it now, it's like a sabotage, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took all the top black man them off the roads, basically, and put them all onto the BBC. You understand? And it kind of... Did it
water down your sound in any way? Completely. Were they like controlling of the sound?
Yeah. It watered us down tenfold, basically. We lost a lot of our fan base. It worked in two ways. A lot of our existing fan base who knew us from Chimes and who had been with us on the whole journey was like, wow, what happened to you, man? You man have kind of gone soft, kind of thing. And then... so we lost a lot of the street credibility, but then we gained a lot of outside
New
of
fans,
London
yeah.
fans, basically, because at that time as well, it was DAB radio, so you could only listen to it on Sky if you through your TV, or you had to buy a DAB radio, which was expensive. So again, it was
so that limits
it
limited
a lot of black.
It's kind of like
people.
a catch-22 because like you've gained a new audience, but not necessarily the audience that you grew with.
Exactly, we lost our core audience. All the kind of ethnics, if you want to call them that, you understand, the not so well off people, all those people, they couldn't really afford DAB radios back then, you understand, so, and we weren't on pirates, so they couldn't really access us anymore, you understand, so we lost all that core following, and the ones, when they could hear us, they weren't even up to speed, and again, this people got to be in their yard to watch it through the TV, and again, that ain't really the vibes, you understand, so.
That's something, sometimes like, it can be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, that was a curse for us, to be honest with you, because we lost a lot of momentum, and though we was getting a lot of outreach further afield. Basically, it was like it changed us. One of the main things we was in pirate radio station where you could bun weed, we could scream, we could shout, we could bring girls there, we'd bang the walls.
It's the whole vibe as well that goes with it, not
exactly.
just being a DJ. It's the atmosphere.
Exactly.
And you're there with the new trendsetters that are coming, like...
Exactly. Family, that there is priceless. When we went to One Extra, we're now MCing, we're sitting down, MCing, we've got like the mics that come down, you know, sense you're not even holding your physical mic. Plus you got producers, the producers coming every minute giving you papers and pushing papers in your face to read. So it's fabricated, you know, sense not the vibe we knew. We're sitting down.
It's kind of staged.
It's just stiff. It was very, very stiff, and it's a whole new building with all these different kind of people we're not really familiar with. And you had to arrive 2 hours before and leave 2 hours after. And it was stuff that was all foreign to us. So we was like, wow, they wanted us to go in the office and mingle with people. We're like, well, we don't really know them. And we're just here with this music. We want to play our music and vibes. Yeah, exactly.
That's like, you don't really think about it from that angle. So it's actually good now that you're explaining that. Because sometimes people feel like when they get signed, then that's it. But sometimes it's actually best to just grow your stuff organically.
Yeah, that's it. Like me, I'm a feelings person, I'm a vibes person, stuff like that, and I like to be happy all the time. So that One Extra environment never really made me happy. You understand? It was like a man being in a straitjacket almost, and they tell you to do this, and they want you to present it a certain way and stuff. If you listen to radio now, because I've been through the whole process, when I listen to radio now, I can almost hear when they're giving them stuff to read, and some like the better presenters will weave it in, and it sounds like they're just talking basically, but if you listen to radio, you now that I've said it to you, you'll be able to detect, you'll see when
I've been at One Extra actually with Big Nasty, and you see them there like passing the paper around every minute, like you can't say this, you can't say that, oh my god, you can't say that because of so and so in the news, and exactly, that it's just really like strained.
Exactly.
And you can't be yourself, and the reason why people were attracted to you in the first place was because of your character.
Exactly. So this is the whole thing again, it's the whole Western world where it just, you understand, limits you and takes away your creativity, and they just want to make things great.
It's crazy because that kind of reminds me, like when you got like a local restaurant and the food's like really nice, and as soon as someone else takes it over, they water it down because they feel like they can do it better.
Yeah, exactly. But it was working.
So it was working exactly how it is because people liked it for the fact that it was authentic.
That's right. That's exactly right. But again, this is the white man always thinks he can do something better than everyone else, basically, so he likes to control everything, and you understand, and that's what's the problem with a lot of these things with music even now, you understand, it's very controlled and contrived, you get me? So people ain't really being to just be free and do...
Stifles creativity as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the whole One Extra and all those things, that's what it done, took all the man them off the road, you understand, put them all on One Extra, and only to kick them off years later anyway, and you understand.
So that's what I was going to ask. Like, how long did you stay at One Extra for?
We was there for 4 years.
Oh wow, you lasted long.
Exactly. No, but what it was again was like, that was a catch-22 because we was breaking all the records, and our show at that time had the most listeners and stuff like that. So we was an asset to them, but we wasn't like, we was turning up late and we was doing all sorts of things. Don't get me wrong, we wasn't perfect at all, you understand? But we was turning up like 5 minutes before our show, bearing in mind we were supposed to be there like
2 hours.
2 hours before, and one man would be turning up, or two man are there and one man coming late. But it ain't really nothing because this is what it is. It's vibes, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a vibe. This is what we've been doing. And it ain't no issue. Yeah, well, but my man's running, man coming in and say cool vibes, you understand? But again, their style, that weren't their style. They couldn't have that. So they kept us for 4 years because we was doing good and breaking records and stuff like that. And at the same time, we was putting One Extra on the map. Like, we got headhunted.
Made them trendy.
Yeah, in a way we did. We made them popular, basically. They broadcast on our raves and stuff like that and stuff. So they used us accordingly, and then after they probably couldn't hack us anymore. They said, you know what, they didn't renew our contract.
Time to go. So how did you like make the transition from DJs and MCs to recording artists now? Like, was that just a natural progression, or like one day just decided we're going to release like the Heartless anthem?
Yeah,
the theme song.
This was that way back in the days when we had a place we called the Music House, and it's like, this is maybe about 2000. Actually, I'm not too sure. You know, anywhere between 99 2000. Around that time, we was making a bit of money. I said to these guys, you know what, we need to buy a studio. Like, this is the next step. Might have been before. And I said, yeah, we need to buy a studio. And we bought a studio back then for about $5,000, I think it was. And then we started to go in there, and Fonty was like, he couldn't actually produce, but he was so musical. He kind of taught himself how to produce and stuff like that. And one day I was in there. They left me in there by myself, and I started playing around. And then I come up with a riff for the Heartless theme. And then showed it to Fonty, and Fonty built the rest around it.
Nice.
And that was kind of
how it came about.
Yeah. I mean, we did aim, like we were saying, from the DJ thing, we want to blow up and be artists, basically, because we could chat and our lyrics was catchy and stuff. We always had that in the back of our mind, like we could be artists. And we'd made a few songs that me and Fonty had performed in like, the college days before and stuff like that. So we did have a few little vibes like that. But we didn't take it seriously. And then what happened when we got signed to the record label?
What label were you signed to?
Warner East West.
Okay.
And when we got signed to them, that kind of really, between them and One Extra, kind of stifled our creativity, man. That's like,
even more.
Yeah, they fucked us up, man. Like, really. That whole era for us wasn't really
it's kind of like every single thing that the average artist would think is a good thing was actually the bad thing for you, because you had already built up your name on your own anyway. Yeah,
that's right. Like I said, I've always had a very headstrong personality. Like, I kind of know what I want to do and go and get it done, basically. So when we went to One Extra, that was just not a good period for me. And then when we went to the record label, that was just like, fuck. You know. Was
that within the same time frame?
Yeah, literally. I think was we with the record label first. I think it might have been with the record label first, and then that crumbled, and then One Extra picked us up.
Okay.
I think that's how it went. I can't remember. It's
because the single came out in 2000. Well, I know that it reached 21 in the UK singles charts in 2002.
Okay, yeah. So. You know, it's a
was that Top of the Pops days? I can't remember. Did you perform on Top of the Pops?
It was Top of the Pops. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to go on Top of the Pops well enough, but it was a Top of the Pops days.
So I can't remember when they stopped showing Top of the Pops. Actually,
yeah, it was Top of the Pops era, because mine was on there. Basically, people had gone on there, but I can't even remember which came. Did we do the record label first, or did One Extra come first? I can't remember. That's just a blur. But that whole period,
it's probably around the same time. Because it said that you got picked up by One Extra in 2002. So, and then the single was in the charts in 2002. It was actually number 21 May 2002.
Okay, good at.
So probably around those times.
History. And what they said, went on to One Extra in 2002 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might not be accurate, but that's what I found.
Yeah. Maybe, I'm not too sure. All that is
all
a blur.
Yeah,
really
I could imagine.
Try and remember all that period there. That weren't a good period, man. The record label people to kill us out, and One Extra, same thing, man.
Yeah, so like you made Chris Biscuit Volume 1 that got to number 3 in the album charts.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good vibe.
What was behind the name Chris Biscuit?
That was like a name that I had, basically. What I used to always say, Chris Biscuit, when it was mixing. Boy, It sounds crispy. That sounds crispy, basically. So it derived from that, and basically I used to say, yeah, it's Chris Biscuit when we make two tunes sound as one, basically. It was like a Chris Biscuit mix. So that evolved. We done some Chris Biscuit raves, and then that evolved basically to the mix CD, because again, it was like us mixing different genres of music. So Chris Biscuit was also like when Fonty used to mix the soul or R&B into garage or into jungle, bashment jungle, stuff like that. So that was Chris Biscuit as well. So that was the whole idea behind the CD, and that's why the name stuck like that.
Did you have an intention of bringing out a volume 2 or?
Yeah, we did. We're still saying now, we're going to bring out a volume 2, but I don't know, man. Never say never. So yeah, it's still on the cards.
Yeah, so what did it feel like when you were like nominated for like a Mobo and all of that?
Yeah, that was good, man. That was good times, because I remember that we was going out and buying shopping. We all bought bashy suits to go there. We thought we'd win. Everyone said that we're gonna win the Mobo. Everyone has said
how did you feel when you didn't?
We was like, wow, and everyone it was a surreal feeling, because Mystique, what they call Mystique, innit?
Mystique.
Yeah, Mystique, they won it. They won Best Garage Act, basically. And everyone was in uproar. Like, when they said, all right, the nominees are, I think it was More Fire, Heartless, and when they said Heartless, the whole place went mad.
Yeah.
And then they said a couple other names, and then Mystique. And then after the winners are Mystique, and everyone like, what? And like,
so everyone kind of went in there thinking, yeah, you definitely had it.
Yeah, everyone was saying we had it, but again, now being older and knowing the thing again, it's all
political.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a fake and a backhand, and people pay to get their people to win and all that. Like, it's all fakes and fake bamboozle things. So it's understandable. The streets knew we should have won it, and everyone on the road, everyone knew we should have won it at that particular time. But again, handshakes and money had been exchanged long before we even arrived at the Mobo. So that's that.
So what would you describe as like your biggest success as a trio, as Heartless Crew?
We've had quite a lot of successes, basically. But one, and we done a Stephen Lawrence kind of memorial thing, like 90,000 people that was like back in the kind of Millennium Dome back then. That was like really a big thing. We done like Sean Paul concert. This was back in the days as well, and cool. We done it like as artists. We didn't do it as DJs. We was nice. Performing our songs, warming up for Sean Paul, and everyone said we outshone him and stuff like that. That was like a good
big
moment for us. Like the whole Iron Napa era, the way we looked at Iron Napa, that was like a brilliant achievement, and we broke all the records out in Iron Napa as well for like having the most people at a dance and stuff like
really?
That. Yeah, we had records, broke the records there. One Extra broke the records there as well. So, we had a lot of successes and achievements. Obviously, we got signed to the record label. Monetary terms, that was the biggest achievement, because we got a load of money for that. Although it wasn't such a good period afterwards. So that was a massive achievement. Like, I think it was about 21. And
it's still really young.
Yeah, we was young, and we got a whole heap of money and stuff. But I mean, I'd actually say our biggest achievement hasn't even come yet. To be honest with you, we're still out there, and yeah, man, we're still billing again. Yeah,
because that brings me to the next question, which is like, why did you decide to like announce the breakup January 2011? Like, it was like the 1st of January.
Yeah.
Like, that was like proper, like what you sort of decided. No, I'm not even taking you lot into the new year with me. F that, it's done.
Yeah,
that's proper like
I hold my
serious.
Hands up for that. That's me. Still, we'd been kind of going through a rocky period, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm putting the blog out and just done it, because we was internally we'd kind of broken up anyway in a way, and it weren't really plain sailing. So
because that would have been like nearly 2 decades visa like together.
Yeah, man. It was, you know what, I called it and said, you know what, me and Mo at the time wasn't getting on so well, and I said, you know what, I'd rather salvage a little friendship we had at that time. I said, I'd rather salvage a little friendship we got left and leave it, because in business we don't see eye to eye.
Was that because he trademarked the name?
Yeah, that was all to do with that. Basically, it's like little funny business, you understand what he tried to do. And again, I mean, everything's kind of cleared now and whatever else. So, you know, I mean, he was just going through something maybe at the time, what else, but it didn't sit well with me. So I said, you know what, let me just call it.
And do you regret doing it at that time?
Do I? No, I don't regret it at all. No, that's what was needed to be done. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you need that break, you understand? And then he had a few years to work out and see what's what, and likewise me and Fonty as well. So Yeah, it was
Cool.
really good.
So like, since then, you guys have like performed at events like Garage Nation, O2 Academy in Leicester, Snowbombing Festival in Australia. Was it Australia?
Austria. We did the other day. Yeah.
So have you considered getting back together and making new music or?
We are back together officially, and
Oh, dope.
yeah, we're back together. We got back together a couple of years ago now, basically. So we've been doing a lot of gigs and stuff like that. But it's weird again because it's now this whole new circuit that our original core people don't really know where together or where about like that, because we're in another circuit. We got a different kind of management, and again, it's this whole.
So are you targeting a younger audience now, would you say, or just?
In a way, we're kind of going through the motions at the moment. We've got a new management, and they're doing a few little things, and they're putting us on a lot of these festivals, and we're doing a lot of overseas gigs and stuff like that. So we're missing our original target audience. And yeah, we are. A lot of the audience now is this young, kind of more trendy kind of crowd, the festival kind of crowd. So,
but do they recognize the music or?
They don't really. They don't recognize the music by and large. When we go out, like maybe 20, depends where we go and what gigs there are, but by and large, maybe 25% of people know us. But what they connect with is the vibe, basically. So even though they don't necessarily know us, the vibe is universal. That's one thing we've always had, so we could always kind of stand the test of time.
So are you mixing other people's tracks in with it, or is it all original material?
Yeah, no, it's all. We've never really had enough. We have, but we've never really done our own material. We've always been DJ and MCs. Okay. So now, yeah, we're still mixing everyone else's stuff, flinging a few of our own tunes here and there, but by and large, it's everyone else's stuff, old and new. Some of our old stuff, and then we're mixing some of this new stuff as well. Yeah.
So in 2014, you said you're going to stop MCing and focus on being an artist.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the big difference between the two?
There's a lot of differences, basically. Like MC can kind of get away with blue murder. MC's not ready to. In fact, let me say, MC's not really recognized worldwide. Artist is. So someone would know, like Drake. They could understand Drake and know exactly what Drake is and what he's doing. But then someone like myself as an MC Bushkin, couldn't really stand up because I'm MCing. You're just chatting over other people's stuff, and it's like, especially how we do it in the UK, it's not universal enough for everyone to understand. People can't really understand it. And then on top of that, it's like, if I go and MC at a gig now, it's a freestyle. It's nothing's really regimented. And if I go and do one tomorrow, I couldn't even really remember what I chatted in whatever order in the moment. Yeah, so that's the MC. MC's like live. It's all freestyle. MC can get away with just wearing anything. MC can get away with being a bit drunk and mumbling. Where artists, it's a clean cut. Artists comes on stage at a set time. They perform a set, like if it's their album or if it's their single, they perform. It's structured, basically. They have their little talk in between.
It's more of a performance.
Yeah, it's a set piece. You're going and you're watching that, bam, they look a certain way, hit the stage, bam, go. This is a proper artist, you understand? Because there's art in the UK, we still don't really take artist business seriously, you understand? Like how Americans might take it. Yeah. So a proper artist turn up, you understand? Tour manager will come, when I've got so and so here, we've got so many guests. All right, can you take us to the VIP? Bam, sit down, you have a few drinks, you understand? Go on the stage, do your performance, come off, take some photos, and you're out. MC, turn up whenever, you understand? MC for the whole night, drunk up, chat to gal, where. You understand? It's much more. It's baggy, you understand?
Yeah.
A lot baggy. So when I said I'm stopping that, people didn't really understand it. They're like, oh, you're quitting, you're retiring, or what you're doing. Didn't really understand. But in my mind, I know, say, to be a prolific artist, you understand, you kind of have to leave a lot of the bad habits of the MC business. They don't really mix well, you understand? It's weird, actually, because I used to be really good at roller hockey, and people used to say, oh, you're really good at roller hockey, you should be good at ice hockey. But again, they're very similar things. From afar, I think that, yeah, of course, you can roller skate, you can ice skate. But in practice, they're two different things.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the UK music scene right now? Do you feel proud that you kind of like paved the way for these young MCs and grime artists to come through? Yeah,
definitely feel very, very proud. Very proud. We set a good trend and started a good ball rolling. I mean, there's, again, like I'm saying, there's still some factors that I think are still missing from us, but we're getting there, basically. We're actually leveling up, basically. At one time, it was like America and Jamaica was miles ahead of us, but now kind of we're leveling up. Everyone's lyrically everyone's on the same level now, like right around the world, we're the exact same as everyone else. The only thing what we're lacking now is the showmanship, and we're getting it. You understand? Some artists like Steph London really look like international artists. You understand? She's come with a show. You understand? She's got her dance and stuff like that. So we are getting it slowly but surely. It's still not banging and hitting home all the time. This is just my personal opinion, because I go out and see a lot of these artists and stuff and see what they're doing, but we're definitely getting there. So yeah, man, very proud. And again, in another year or 2 years, you understand, we're definitely going to level up on that side of things as well.
Okay, so if you can collaborate with any UK artist right now, who would it be and why? You can choose more than one.
I've always rated Gets, funny enough.
Okay.
And I know me and him collaborate because I kind of view him similar like myself, basically. He's kind of hype, kind of character, and yeah. I always think, if me and him done something, that would be good. That would be a nice collaboration.
Any females?
Yeah, all of them. Let me think which females am I feeling. Quite a lot of them in my head, but
You can say more than one. Doesn't have to be one person.
yeah.
Like, who do you like the vibe? Do you like Steph London? Would you make a track with her? Or you're not similar vibe?
I would. It wouldn't be the first that I would draw for.
Okay.
Miss Banks is good. I rate Miss Banks. She's tough. Stush was heavy. I rate Stush. She was sick. Even Miss Dynamite was tough as well. Still.
Yeah. Miss Dynamite's legend. She got like the MB.
Yeah, she had a good vibe and stuff like that. She kind of stood for something as well. She stands for something. Katie B, she was good. She had a different kind of element and a different vibe as well. Like some of her stuff. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Okay. So on your track, Ain't Gonna Say No More, you addressed the fact that Heartless Crew was given much credit for contributing to the grind scene from that Hattie Collins book. Do you feel the same way about Grind Kids?
I haven't read it. Oh yeah, I actually started reading it. Funny enough, but I haven't read it yet. But I mean, from what you're saying, I could gather it's similar kind of.
No, I haven't read it myself.
Oh,
it was just
okay.
obviously when I was doing like my research into you, I thought maybe you would have checked it out just because of the fact that what happened before.
Yeah. Now, fun enough, I started reading it, and we actually went on Target's show basically when he was launching it and stuff, and that. He said he did mention us in there and give some things. I haven't read it yet to that part, but hopefully he's giving us some credit. You understand where it's due. If not, I mean, hey, what can you say?
That's what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, do another song and draw out Target.
Yeah. So, what does a typical day look like for you these days?
Oh man, yeah, man. I'm trying to do a million and one things, but I spend a lot of my time here basically getting things sorted out in the studio. We've got an artist we're releasing at the moment, so we're trying to sort out all that back end stuff for that. And I'm still trying to practice and then organise gigs. Like I was still on this entrepreneur thing, so probably 70% of my time is like doing the back end business. Basically, I learned my lesson from the One Extra and the record label thing. So now it's just try and do it myself with a small team.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm here and just kind of orchestrating things, and whether it's on like bookings for the agency side of things, sorting out the artists, music.
So you've got an agency as well? Is that a talent agency or
Say?
what type of agency is it?
Yeah, like a booking DJ and MC stroke artist agency. I mean, again, this is always something that I had from the Heartless days, way back in the days. We had our own agency. If you want to book us, you book us through ourselves, basically.
Okay.
Again, like I said, I've always had this entrepreneurial head of building the business and ourselves. So yeah, since back then to now, I mean, Heartless is outside of that now. So if you want to book Heartless, you go to Echo Agency, but all the other bookings
come straight for you.
Come straight from me, yeah.
Cool. So what does the future hold for MC Bushkin?
Boy, the future's bright. The future's bush bash. That's what I say. But yeah, man. You know what? I'm set my main focus is building this record labels, Bush Bash Recordings. I've called it the UK's #1 independent black record label. So that's where my main focus is, building the label, and then cultivating the artists under the label and kind of rising them up. I want to be kind of like a Young Money of the UK, something like that.
Cool. Don't even be Baby.
Yes,
put some respect on my name.
Yeah, yes. I like more Master P, but like the guys in my head are like Jay-Z, Baby, Master P, 50 Cent. These are the kind of people that like in a way.
You want to leave like a legacy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's where I'm kind of aspiring to be. So yeah, so before like my focus was building the Heartless Crew, and that was kind of an act and a band. But now my aim is to build the record label, which is like a house, which will house all of these acts and bands. And because I know what my heart is like and what I'm about, and I'm opening to love, yes, and I want to make change, and I'm about love. So that's why I want to build my own kind of thing, so it can be coated with love. When you mix up with all these different people, as I've learned, their intentions ain't always clean.
I totally understand. So what would you say has been like the key to your longevity? Because you've been in the game for a long time, but you're obviously still very relevant. So what would you say is the key to that? Because you've seen like loads of people, I'm sure you've seen come and go.
All come and go. Yeah, just in the food shop, and I just looking at some of the pictures. Our picture was there, and I looking at bare the pictures. Cleopatra, Nisha, there's loads, and a lot of the people.
Yeah, I remember Cleopatra. Wow.
Yeah, just looking at all their pictures, and just literally just before I met you.
Oh wow.
And yeah, but you know what is, again, like my things without sounding. A few things, basically. One, I'm a natural people's person. Yes, I can just connect with people, and being a mic person that is a real like God-given like talent in a way, because a lot of these other guys, when the music cuts out, they haven't got anything to say. Basically, they can chat on the tunes all day long, but when there's no music, they can't necessarily talk to an audience and stuff like that. But me, I've always been found it easy to talk to people on or off the mic, basically. So that's a natural thing, and that's helped keep me relevant. One, I always like to keep happy, and I like to always do what I like. Again, so that keeps me happy, keeps me youthful, keeps me fun and vibrant as well.
That's a good summary.
Yeah. Pretty much. And you know, in a weird way, like this is a chosen, man's been chosen to do these things. It's not even about me, because sometimes I think to myself, why am I doing all this, and like so many different things. But this is like, I'm on a mission, and I'm on a mission for love and for change. So it's like
sometimes it's bigger than you.
Exactly that.
So you just have to. You're just like a participant.
Exactly. I have to just play the role and do as I'm told, so to speak. And like you mentioned earlier about stress, I don't take on stress. And I'm not really into stress. I'm into happy, fun vibes. So I don't really mix up with stress and things like that.
That's really good.
So yeah.
So if you were to go back and speak to yourself in 1992 when it all started, what would you say to yourself, and why? Like, if you can give yourself any advice back then, knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself?
Probably be just to stay focused and not get distracted, because I could probably have done this thing a whole lot quicker if I'd just stuck on the one straight path, basically, and been a bit more disciplined. Probably a lot of it comes down to putting myself first as well, because I'm such a people's person. I'm always putting a lot of other people first and stuff like that, and this is a distraction. It slows things down, basically. So probably that would be my word to myself, just to keep focused and not to get distracted, put myself first more of the time.
Brilliant. Yeah, so where can our audience find you on socials, and do you have a website and everything like that?
Yeah, we've got a website. It's actually a holding page at the moment, so we're getting it built up, which is www.bushbashrecordings.com. But mainly I'm on Insta. Insta's my one still. Yeah. So you can always catch me on Insta stories and everything there. It's MC Bushkin.
So if there's like an up and coming artist and they wanted to find out how to like get involved with your agency and stuff like that, is that still Insta?
Yeah. Insta's the main one. I'm always on there, so I'm in my DMs often and replying back to people. I mean, I'm on Twitter as well as MC Bushkin, and I'm on Snapchat as Ricky Black. I don't really use Snapchat that much anymore, to be honest with you. But yeah, Insta's the main. And I am on Facebook as well, funny enough, as MC Bushkin. So I do check them all as well, but Insta's the one if you want to hit me rapid.
Connect quick.
Yeah, Insta's the one.
That's where I found you.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so it's been amazing talking to you and being able to like recap on everything. I'm sure I took you down memory lane to some places you haven't thought about for a while.
No, definitely, man. It's been good just to sit down and talk and reflect back, man.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's good to see the journey, man, because I'm always trying to go 100 miles an hour and get things done and stuff like that, but sometimes I don't often get to look back and think, wow, man's come
how far you've come. Yeah, definitely. And doing it from such a young age as well, it's like what you've done, you've actually paved the way for many other people, so it's something to be extremely proud of.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I get a lot of time people say, oh, legend, this, that, and that, but sometimes it doesn't feel right because I'm in my head. I've got so much more what I want to do and what I'm trying to do. It's just like, wow, that legend to me sounds like, wow, you've finished, you've done, kind of like.
Yeah, but I think because I heard Oprah describe it in this way, your legend will be the people that you've touched. So you've touched a lot of people along the way, so you can be called a legend because the impact that you've had on their life, they're living it now. Yeah. For some people, I think you probably think about legends in terms of like, you're still here. People become legends when they're dead. Well, you can be a living legend, right?
Yeah, well, I suppose so, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm humble with it, man. I've got so much things to do right now, like left really to make some change to them. I would love to be looked at and classed as a legend when I finish the mission.
Finish doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's all about the journey as well.
Yeah.
The journey's been an amazing one. And it's been absolutely amazing talking to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, man. Thank you.
As usual, guys, remember to follow For The Creators on all socials. We're on Instagram at For The Creators Podcast. We're on Twitter at _The Creators. Remember to subscribe, recommend, review, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening.